Well, hi guys, hopefully this finds you very well. My name's Paul, this is Plan Z. Welcome to the session. I'm having problems with my words today. Promise I haven't been drinking. Hopefully in this view we can see the core of the rig. Now the drums are out the way, I've got some loops prepared. What I want to do in this session, this is going to be a Holloway session where I'm sound checking a bank of, just dropped my pick, VOX amps, and I've got some delay patches based on the same template that I've got here in my patch 1, and I wanted to show you a little bit about how and some of the sounds going on here whilst I'm doing it, and sound check my patch. So this is a medium gain VOX, which is called the Diamond amp in GT1000. I've got my gain pot, and when I'm talking to you I'm kind of talking to myself as well, so I'm making notes of what I'm doing throughout the session. I've got the gain pot on about 7 or 8. Now I've got GT1000 set up. If you're not familiar with my videos, I do settings videos where I talk about what I do inside of GT1000, but at the moment, so you've got the overview, I've got my main outs doing my dry signal, and I've got my sub outs doing my wet signal. So let's get some more. Okay, but I've also got HXeffects attached to my my dry outs. Now on my dry outs I've got a 2 notes cab M out of view over here. Couldn't get it in shot unfortunately, and get the looper on the floor. But my dry out goes out to a 2 notes cab M, and then I can attach to that a wet channel where I've got a side chain happening using the send return of the line 6 HXeffects, where this bottom row of buttons gives me more wet. So let's just stick on a reverb. Stick on a delay. Stack the delay into the reverb. And I've got like 33 patches in there, 4 patches per bank. 33 banks, 4 patches per bank, and the effects are really good. So I have that happening on the 2 notes, and I can, if I want now, add parallel to that, because this is going separately to the desk as well from my sub outs. Let's go really wet on the GT, combining the reverbs. Now on the RC600, I've got all the noise suppression off, all the compressors off. When we go into it, we're going to go in dry. I'm not using any of the effects on there yet. I'm still understanding if these buttons are going to work for me. And I'm going to talk you through what I'm going to do with that in just a little moment. But first, let's finish this. So with HXeffects, I've got a send return here where I engage front end. So the top row is front end. So at the moment, there's a compressor automatically on, but I can stick on a synth. Now that's going through my GT1000 amp. Now here, I've got another send return happening in my GT1000 where I'm sending signal out only. It doesn't come back in, and it goes out to the SY-300, so let's engage that. Now I could, if I want, add a fuzz to the first synth. Okay, so it gets pretty noisy if I want it to. Now, full disclosure on the loopers, so that we can sound check things. Actually, before I move there, just talk about guitars for a moment. I've got 2 more patches I want to sound check in this, where I can run in stereo and I can send my guitar wherever I want to send it. Okay, and I've got 2 of those, one in a higher gain than the other, and each one of these has a low and a medium gain to it, but at different gain stages. All right. So, and then in a little bit, we're going to go and test out some delay patches I've built, still using the VOX, but I want to get the jam up and running first. I also want a sound check tucked away under here, which I can't quite see because of the room's not big enough basically. There's a VE500, Boss VE500 there, and I want to use some vocal effects once I've got some loops up and running. So back to full disclosure, on the RC505 there's two synth parts recorded with the guitar. Part 1, second part obviously moves to a different chord, and the same thing happens on this loop, and both of those are running in an 8-bar loop, so 8 measures. When I combine them, okay, so let's just knock those off for the moment. The other thing we've got on here is some clicky sticks on, I think it's a 2-bar loop. Yeah, okay. Now on the RC600, we've got a 4-bar measure beat. So clicky sticks, everything starts here with this, but I have the track down on the bass at the moment. And here I've got an 8-bar measure of so this is on an 8-bar measure, starting now. So I've got an 8-bar measure bass line coming in on the second half of that, where I move up the chord, and then we come back down to E. It's very simple, just a simple jam for me to understand how this here is going to work. Now I've got this set, so when I hit this button we go to a 4-measure loop, where we hang in E. And I'm going to build some guitars around this and the other one. What's nice about this though is once this is completed a full round of 8, if I now hit this here, I can do a change where, hang on a sec, we're going to come in, I get the second half of the first one, I'm going to go back to the other. Yeah, and it's nice doing that little interchange, and then the second time I do it I can complete the whole round. So okay, so what I've got to get my little brain to remember is I've got a control switch here which allows me to select tracks. Yeah, so when I press it, but it seems a little bit glitchy. I seem to need to press it twice. Maybe one, and now it's jumping around. So maybe, hang on a moment. Sorry about that, I'm a bit of a cripple at the moment. Okay, so the button was knocked. So I can select my switches here if I want to. And I've got this one set to an 8-bar loop here, this first one, and it stops at the end of the round. And I've got this one here set to a 2 that will match. So these two match and these two match, if that makes sense. But I haven't set any assigns up yet. Now the modes, and this is one of the things I need to get my head around, is I've set these two to end at the moment at the end of the loop, whereas everything else stops when I stop it. Does that make sense? And I want to experiment with that over a few sessions, probably on my own, but I'll probably manage to cock it up in this session. Now when we're red, we're in play stop. When we're white, we record play, and when we hold down we access other functions, but I've not really touched that yet. I'm still trying to understand how I can get my feet to work with this pedal. So yeah, what I might do is start off with the short round, and I'll just start putting some of the parts in, get to a point where I can start trying out the VE500. So hasn't changed, that's nice. Right, so when the button on the floor here is blue, I'm going to the RC505. Another part of harmony. Then I'm going to come to my main patch. I'm just going to go to a low gain, but go really wet on the reverb, stick on a chorus, and come to my RC600. Got that in. Now we've calmed things down a little bit. What I want to do is I just want to try putting in a part. Let's pull that verb back, let's go. I'm sticking on one of the harmony effects, and I'm going to stick on a verb. They got us locked down. The new normal. Was it ever normal? Macaroni. You know we're gonna be fine. It's in our DNA. Coming in heavy. What you doing? You crony. Biden dropping bombs. Putin yet to come. There's homeless in the streets. But have you had your jab? It's only DNA. It's only DNA. It's only DNA. Only DNA. Gonna be fine. It's an DNA. The reverse delay on the distortion. Only DNA. Gonna be fine. Gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. Sorry. I forget when I press that twice, it bypasses it. Okay, yeah, so I think I heard what I needed to hear there. These Holloway sessions are going to be kind of like jams of me looping. There might be mistakes, things like that. Things might not work out with the looper. I'm still trying to get my head around that so I can get fluid arrangements. So it's not arranged at the moment, although there is arrangement written. I've just got to figure out how the freaking hell I'm going to do it. Yeah, but hopefully the overall production is sounding better than my productions were a year ago. It feels so much better in the room. I think I'm getting my head around all this gear. Yeah, I enjoyed that. Hopefully you did, and it wasn't too painful. I'll catch you later. Take care. Bye-bye.